Hi, Leo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your March 2022 Astro Update. It's Rena here. So, March is characterized by a lot of activity in two particular houses. The seventh house of committed partnership with your opposite sign, Aquarius, as well as the eighth house, which is the house of transformation, with the Pisces energy. Okay. And of course, as March begins, the sun is in that eighth house, and this is a very deep house. This is Scorpio's house. So it has to do with matters of transformation and how they affect your life, your direction in life, and intimacy and shared resources. There's all kinds of themes attached to the eighth house, and you have the sun here, so it's kind of shining a light on this area. And there might be things that come up in the next few weeks that you could say force you to deal with things. I'd like to be more positive, that inspire you to deal with them. So the new moon on the 2nd is at 12 degrees of Pisces, and because it's in this area, there may be some kind of new developments with something that has to do with the money that you share with other people. So inheritance issues, your partner's finances, if loans or debts, taxes, and things like that. So that is happening on that date, but this can also be something that is associated with, like, you studying some kind of a metaphysical topic. It can be a course of studies that you want to take. The very next day, on the 3rd, Mars and Venus, the divine lovers, form a conjunction in Capricorn. Now, they've been traveling in the same sign off and on, and they have been both in this house, which is the 6th house for you, for a while now. And this is the area of work matters. So, when we take them separately, Mars can indicate some kind of conflict in the workplace, but since Venus is there might be something that makes it smoothed out in some way. So what I can think of off the top of my head is anything that has to do with like raises, or like what do they call those when they're not fighting, but a salary review. Oh gosh, I can't think of the term. That's like, it's I think it is. I don't know if it's salary review, because it's something that the employee is asking for. So requesting a raise, that sort of thing. And Mars gives you the confidence to do that. Venus can be about the money itself. And there's also something going on a few days later where both Venus and Mars are entering Aquarius on the 6th. So they are traveling very close together, regardless of whether they form an exact conjunction or not. But they are going to be entering that 7th house on the 6th. And that can mean that they are affecting your relationship. Typically, we would say the marriage or the marriage equivalent type of relationship. And This can actually be good. If Mars was there by itself, I might say, oh, wow, there's going to be a bit of conflict. There's going to be some kind of issue that arises that can cause contention between this couple. But being that they are in conjunction, Mars is kind of that lusty nature, and Venus, that's the masculine element, and Venus is the more, I would say, the more romantic of the two, the feminine component combining. So it's kind of like the twin flames. It's interesting too. That is interesting, because I wanted to say too that if you live on the East Coast of the United States, or Eastern, I should say the Eastern Standard Time, Mars is going to enter at 222. I don't know if it's AM or PM, but I wrote that down because I'm recording this on February 22nd. So that's very interesting. So, the kind of twin flames or soulmate type of things that are going on that combine the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine. That's why I said twin flames. But if it's anything other than that, even if there's because the seventh house can be courtroom action, and Mars can be that kind of fight that you have, but the money is there. Mercury is also in this sector, so there could be negotiations going on. Yeah, salary negotiations, that's what I meant to say. But this is in the seventh house, so if it was anything to do with the workplace, it probably has some legal component to it, because there might be arbitration happening. And if not legal, then at least with human resources or somebody within a company who gets to decide these matters. Mercury can be communicating with somebody, but if you are going through a divorce, you might be communicating with your soon-to-be ex more than you have done so during the marriage, just to iron out the details. And then Mercury goes into Pisces on the 9th, and so it's joining the Sun and Neptune in that 9th house. And this gives your mind a lot of penetrative insight into the nature of other people, which can be very helpful, because yes, of course, for some people, they may be going through a breakup that involves needing legal guidance or some kind of a process to fully sever the union. Or if there are kids involved, dealing with them. Now, I shouldn't be too negative, and I should mention that Mars and Venus, maybe this is the time that you plan a wedding, or, and things like that. Or even get married. And Mercury in the 8th house can be communicating with somebody at a very intimate level, where you're just kind of laying it all out and not worrying about whether that person is going to use that information against you, because the 8th house can be very secretive. So the information that a person communicates in the 8th house can be very sensitive information. But if there's some kind of a document, if there's a will, so if there's a probate issue, then that could be going on as well. On the 18th, there's a full moon at 27 degrees of Virgo. So for Leo, this is your second house of earned income. So that's coming into some kind of resolution. You may be getting money that is owed to you at that time, or at least resolving that situation. For some people, maybe you're ending the way that you earn money in a certain way. So if there's something Like if you are having some salary negotiations, what did I call that? I forgot. I've already forgotten it. But if you have been having that, then you may just walk away from it and say, I can earn money somewhere else. I don't need it this way. But it can be a boost to your income as well. Maybe a raise. Yeah, maybe you win that kind of salary negotiation. On the 20th, the sun goes into Aries. This is a fellow fire energy, so it's a trine. It's really nice in that regard. And it's the ninth house. So the sun goes into this house that Sagittarius rules, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it has that positivity attached to it, that love of expansion. So this can be the season, the Aries season, where you travel. But you might be just in preparation right now because this is the astrological new year. So you can also set intentions for what you want in the next 12 months. And on the 27th, Mercury goes into that ninth house as well. And that can be more of the paperwork. So if you're getting your passport together, if you are, calling up airlines or whatever to see what the requirements are, or looking up stuff online about where you're going to stay, these kinds of things can really be something that you're taking care of to prepare for your travels or things like that. And the ninth house is also the university level of education, so you could be communicating with colleges, and it's also about religion and God, and so that can have some kind of connection to some spiritual studies that you are getting involved with. And that's why I said with the eighth house as well. The eighth house is more esoteric, and it deals with like the occult, astrology, and the tarot are connected to that, but other things too, magic, shamanism. And the ninth house is more straightforward as far as I'm concerned, like the organized religions. And there is a place for that, even if you don't belong or feel like you align with a certain organized religion. There can still be information that you find inspirational and useful. And the yogic philosophy is a perfect example of that. Even if you didn't agree 100% with everything, you could still really garner a lot of good stuff from that. Okay, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care.